Hey everybody, this is Hans Murphy from Modesto, California, and I'm here with another episode of WrestleMurphia. Now, my original plan for today's episode was to talk about Crown Jewel. This was the WWE's PLE, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, that was on today. However, it wasn't really worth talking about, to be honest. So, I enjoyed the match between Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vakir. Other than that, it was, yeah, kind of disappointing, to be honest. But today there's a much bigger wrestling story to talk about. It was earlier this morning that we got the news that Australian wrestling legend Matthew Jungle Cat Muir passed away. Now, what you regular viewers of our Murph content may not know is our producer, Simiana. She used to produce a show called The Gorilla Position, which, no, had nothing to do with gorillas. Gorilla Position is the name for a backstage area at a wrestling show. Now, Jungle Cat appeared on the show a number of times. In the second series, which was hosted by Jason O'Meara, he appeared in 2 matches. But also in the first series, which was hosted by Chris Bayless, he was interviewed for like a 3-part interview that went over his whole career. So, well, his whole career to that point, because it did continue after that. So I thought that it'd be nice, and we've kind of dug back into those archives to bring you something special. So I'm sorry this isn't going to be your usual Murphy video, but we just felt we needed to do something because the guy was a legend, and so he deserves something. He deserves a little something from us, so here it is. Well, we obviously can't get to it straight away because we wouldn't have a show without a sponsor. And so I'm going to throw over to Swimmerf with the sponsorship announcement. Hello, this is Swimmerf, and don't forget about our wonderful sponsor, Home for the LD Lee. They sell Laserdiscs, HD DVDs, and CDs. And if you put in the code MURPH, you get 20% off of your order. So go do that now, or after show, or whenever you have time. But just certainly go check them out, because they are the kings of Laserdiscs. So, yeah, The Gorilla Position was a show that Simiana produced from 2011 to 2013. And, yeah, as I said, Jungle Cat made several appearances. So, here's some highlights of that, and I'll be back at the end to sort of do the usual closing of the show thing. See ya.
Hey, this is Badass Billy Gunn, and you're watching The Gorilla Position. Now, of course, if you're not down with that, I've got 2 words for you. Suck it!
My first guest, well, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was ring announcing at a wrestling show. All of the bad guys came out, madly took over the show, ran around the ring in circles and circles, going absolutely berserk. This man came straight up to my face, this far away, and said, "I don't believe I'm selling this shit." Then ran off berserkly again. Matthew Jungle Cat Muir, hello.
It's a pleasure to be here, Chris. Thank you for having me.
It's always fantastic to see you.
You brought back a memory that I'd forgotten all about that.
Oh, it's never gone away from me. But you're a wrestler.
Yes.
You're a fitness instructor.
Yes.
You're a combat trainer.
Yes.
The real deal there. You're almost a cripple.
Yes, I've sustained and maintained quite a few injuries over the years from professional wrestling and all the training that I've done. Yes.
You're a former state champion bodybuilder.
Yes, I won the Mr. Victoria in 1999.
Okay, let's go back.
Yes.
It's 1980 something.
Yes.
There's a skinny kid in Ballarat.
Yes.
How does he become interested in wrestling?
WrestleMania 1 pretty much did it for me. That cemented the whole thing for me. And I can go back even further. My 2 earliest television memories were Bert and Ernie on Sesame Street and wrestling from Festival Hall. I can remember sitting spellbound in front of a black and white TV, not quite knowing what I was watching, just being totally intrigued by the whole thing. And then, of course, when WrestleMania 1 hit in 1985, I became a Hulkamaniac straight away and became an avid consumer of wrestling. I remember Hulk Hogan saying, we're talking about the 24-inch pythons, and right there and then I decided I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And I put the tape measure around my arm and it measured 12 inches, and I thought, I've only got halfway to go, another 12 inches and I'll be Hulk Hogan. I remember looking at these guys in the ring thinking, well, they've got muscles, I need muscles too. So I started lifting weights and I started bodybuilding in order to become a professional wrestler.
So you went into bodybuilding.
Yes.
You took a few state trophies, I understand?
Yes, I did. I actually started in powerlifting to help my bodybuilding. Powerlifting is squats, deadlifts and bench press done for maximum single repetition. I was Victorian country champion, Victorian state champion. I went through 5 divisions starting at 60 kilos all the way up to a 100 kilo division. And then I switched to bodybuilding, did my first bodybuilding contest in 1992. Right. That was the Mr. Australasia, where I got a 2nd place. I went to the World Championships in 1993, where I got 4th. And then finally, after several years of trying, I won the state title in the open division in 1999.
So how does a bodybuilder become a wrestler?
Jimmy Demirov.
Jim Demirov, we should explain, the man who used to run shows at Epping. He's one of 2 or 3 people in Australian wrestling who kept the dream alive in the days when it was very dark.
Yeah. Jimmy Demirov was a wrestler back in the glory days of Festival Hall, wrestled a lot of the top Americans, and I won't say I was at a transitional point in my athletic or my bodybuilding career, but I'd always loved wrestling, and Jim was training at the gymnasium where I was working, Ivanhoe Athletique, and when I found out he was a wrestler, I pestered him. I said, Jim, this has been a dream of mine all my life, I'd love to try, and he put me off and he put me off and he made me wait just to see my passion, and finally, one day he got sick of me hassling him and he relented and he goes, I'm going to introduce you to a coach. This is a guy that's going to teach you how to be a wrestler. So the nerves were bubbling up in me, and he took me down to Hitman George Julio's gym in Sunshine, and I'd love to say I've never looked back, but it was a tough experience. Wrestling was so much harder than I thought it would be. Yeah. It was very, very humbling. I went from being a pretty good powerlifter and a pretty good bodybuilder, having represented my country in both of those sports, thinking I'm going to be able to handle this easily, this is going to be easy. 12 months of absolute hell and being humbled. Being made to start at the bottom, George broke me down and then he built me back up. I've got to say, he was a tremendous teacher. I couldn't have had a better teacher than George Julio.
I've never heard a bad word said about George. I know he's tough, I know he's hard, but he's probably the fairest bloke in Australian wrestling, even if you can't understand a word he's saying half the time.
Yeah. And I think everyone that's been through George Julio's gym does a bit of a George Julio impersonation.
Yeah, I'd love to do my George Julio. We want to stay on air with that being said.
We've all learned to speak Maltese by proxy because of training at George's gym. Yeah.
You once told me that professional wrestling is more dangerous than martial arts or combat sport.
100%. 100%. A lot of people think because of the nature of it being entertainment, that there's no danger. What they don't realise is every time you step in that ring, you risk a broken neck, at the very least. Broken bones, shattered tendons, you name it, torn muscles, it can all happen. What you're doing, in essence, is stunt work, and stunt work with only one take. We don't get padded cushions, we don't get several takes, we don't get the benefit of CGI. What we do is we get in there, we give our body to our opponent, our fellow worker, and we're basically saying, please don't kill me. The incidence of severe injuries in professional wrestling every year are greater than that of boxing and mixed martial arts.
One of the things that really does strike me about wrestling, though, although it's so hard, and you've worked for almost every company in town and you've worked with some of the top wrestlers, why is there so much sniping backstage? I mean, why is it that there are friction between promoters, friction between wrestlers? Is it the fault of the trainers? Is it the fault of the promoters? Is it the fault of the wrestlers?
It's the nature of the business. It's ruthless. Although it takes a lot of people to put on a show and it takes quite a few people to train you, it is in essence an individual sport. And you have to have a bit of an ego to be successful in professional wrestling. If you go in and meek and mild, you're not going to make a success of yourself. You have to go in believing that you are the best, that you are going to be good, that you deserve to be at the top of the card. Then when you're in a locker room full of people with the same aspirations and the same mindset, when they don't get to the top of the card, when maybe they're doing jobs for someone, that's where the bitchiness comes in. And everyone has a different view of what constitutes what it takes to be a great professional wrestler. High flyers, small guys, big guys, heavyweights, lightweights, cruiserweights, we're all different. We all have a place on the show. and we all pretty much think we should be in the main event.
Yeah. And is that the reason that wrestling really hasn't been able to progress over the last 20 or 30 years? Every company seems to just hit a ceiling, can't quite get above that ceiling.
Yeah, and so many different promoters, different ideas on how to run things. And look, a big part of it is being compared to the American product. Vince McMahon has done a tremendous job promoting wrestling worldwide, and what he's done has a recognisable brand, puts on a tremendous show with larger-than-life athletes. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good we are as locals, when you put us next to Vince McMahon's product, we do tend to look a little bit second-rate. And unfortunately, as much as we might like to think otherwise, we will be judged by what people see on television. And most people's perception of professional wrestling, whether we like it or not, is WWE.
We've just been talking about career planning, WWE and so forth. Should a wrestler set goals for their career?
By all means, definitely. The only reason an Australian hasn't made it in WWE up until now, and I actually did just find out this morning that Tennille Taylor, right, who has been offered a contract with WWE, and that's tremendous. The only reason an Australian hasn't made it up until now is people are waiting for Vince McMahon to reach out and pluck them from obscurity in Australia and take them over there. You've got to get over there to get in it. You've got to go knock on the door. Vince McMahon is a busy man. Aussie wrestling isn't really on his radar. Yep. What you've got to do is work hard, build the body, learn the craft, and then go over there and knock on the door of developmental.
Okay, you knocked on the door. You had a 5-year plan at one point. You decided, you put a timeline together. I'm going to start here, and in 5 years' time, I'm going to have an offer, or I'm going to be in the States working.
Yes, I did. I set myself a 5-year plan starting in 2002. Ohio Valley Wrestling was the main developmental territory for WWE at the time, and I decided that by 2007 I was going to be over there and working. I started corresponding with OVW in 2004, and they were happy to correspond back, and they said, look, we can have you come over and work for us. Yep. We're not going to offer you a contract. You can join our advanced classes and you can work on the show, but you've got to cover your own expenses and make your own way over, which was fine. And I had a few people locally, TNT from Sydney, always geeing me up and saying, Matty, go ahead and do it. You can make it. You get over there and they'll offer you a contract. And I was close, and I was working, and I was saving my money, and the hand of fate intervened.
So it's 2005-ish?
2005-ish.
You're on top of the game. You're a trainer, you're a headliner, you're working with companies all over the country. You've done a bit of work in Japan. You're well-known, title belts, doing radio appearances.
Yes, yes.
It's Friday night. You're at the Dragonfly restaurant.
I'm at the Dragonfly.
And 2 hours later, you are crawling up your driveway along the bitumen because you couldn't walk. What happened?
I was in a match. I took a back body drop, a move that I'd taken several times before, and I felt a red-hot bolt of lightning shoot down my leg into my foot. Then I couldn't feel my foot, and I struggled to put weight on my leg. But I finished the match because that's what we do. We wrestle on. And then when I got backstage, I started to seize up and things started to get tighter, and then I couldn't stand. And a couple of the boys helped me to my car. And it was an hour's drive from Dragonfly to home. And when I got home, I couldn't even crawl on my hands and knees up my driveway. I dragged myself on my side like a slug, and I crawled up the steps and into my house and went to bed, and I tried to sleep it off. And as I found out later, I'd ruptured 2 discs in my back, the discs between L3, L4, L5. And that wrestling mentality says you keep wrestling, you keep working, you don't miss bookings. I kept wrestling. And then
that's what I'm trying to get. Why didn't you go to the hospital or at least call an ambulance? You worked the following night. You worked on the Saturday night.
Yeah, I wrestled on the Saturday night because the thinking in wrestling is when people pay to see you, they only want to see you, and you can't miss bookings. And I persevered and I pushed through, and I'd had aches and pains before, several injuries. I broke my arm once during a match, and you push on. I just thought it was a muscular injury. I didn't realise the nature of it, and then one morning I woke up and I couldn't feel my feet.
And the doctor says you've done those.
I've prolapsed 2 discs. And she told me, one of Melbourne's best back surgeons said if I kept wrestling, I was going to end up in a wheelchair, and I was to stop lifting weights because of the pressure it put on my spine, and I was to give up my job because my job was physical.
Good God! So you're in recovery for months. You took the operation. You went into the hospital.
No, I didn't. I didn't get the operation. I opted for non-surgical rehab because the only option open to me was spinal fusion, where they put a rod in the bottom 3 vertebrae. And as I found out, the operation has to get redone, and it's a very low success rate. So I opted for a non-surgical method of rehabilitation: yoga, Pilates, swimming, avoiding exercises that hurt my back, and yeah, it was a long, slow road.
So you're in recovery for months, your fitness falls, you can't train,
Can't train.
the operation hasn't happened. For someone who's just spent decades and decades as a fitness fanatic,
Yeah.
what's it like?
Pretty bad. I hit a bit of a low point for 12 months. The easiest way to sum it up is I was in a bit of a depression there for a while, because the dream that I'd been working for the better part of my life was over. No more Ohio Valley, no more WWE in my future. Yeah, I was pretty low, and then I got sick of feeling low, and I finally decided that I was going to get myself back into the gym and just start doing things that didn't hurt me. And this was the middle of 2006, and slowly worked on things that didn't hurt, building myself back up, non-surgical methods of rehabilitation, and pretty much had reconciled myself after a good few years of this that the professional wrestling dream was over for me.
No surrender?
No, sir. Well, always loving it, always being a part of it, always connected to it. And then, you know, a few years had gone by. It was September 2009, and I heard that TNA were holding tryouts in Sydney, and I was in pretty good shape. I was light, I was lean, I was fit. I thought, you know what? I'll go up there and I'll see if I can make it to the last half a dozen, just see if this old body's got something left in it.
You've gone into fitness training, you've come back from a massive back injury, you've become a fitness trainer, you've also become a combat trainer.
Yes.
In a very specific kind of combat.
Yeah, I instruct in Krav Maga, which is an Israeli combat system, comes from the Israeli military. Literally translated, it means contact combat. In the military in Israel, men and women serve, so it has to be a system that's applicable for women. It relies on leverage and precision striking rather than size and strength. It's an amalgamation of boxing, wrestling, submission. It also teaches unarmed weapon defence and defence against multiple attackers.
We're not talking karate, we're not talking a tournament situation here. We're talking genuine hand-to-hand, street-to-street, even house-to-house combat style.
Yeah, this is genuine self-defence. There's no sporting aspect to Krav Maga. It's the most widely taught system of self-defence for law enforcement and military worldwide. And as I said, we cater to multiple attackers and gun and knife defence. So how to defend yourself against a pistol, against a long arm, against a group of people. So it's not a sport, there's no point scoring, there's no belts, there's no championships. It's actually just about survival.
So you're down there in Balaclava in Body World, the gymnasium you're working out of, and the word comes through. TNA are looking for a local. Now, first up, was it a setup? We're not going to tell anyone something they don't know. You got the call up, you got the yes. Was it a setup? Were you selected before those auditions, or was it a genuine audition situation?
To the best of my knowledge, it was a genuine audition.
500 or so people turned up in Sydney, bang, bang, bang through the ring, so to speak.
There would have been maybe 40 to 50 wrestlers up there. We were all given a chance anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to wrestle a match. I was told I had 3 minutes. I got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And Christy Hemme, God bless her, came out halfway during the match and started talking to the crowd. So I wasn't terribly wrapped with my performance on the day. But 2 days later, Volker from Sydney, he called me up. He goes, Matt, Jeff Jarrett was impressed with your dedication, your heart coming all the way up from Melbourne. He'd like to see some more of your stuff, so can you put together a DVD resume? So I put together a few things on a DVD, and I sent it through, and this went on for a couple of months, September, October, November, and then he told me that I got down to the final 2. It was between myself and someone else. And I was rapt just to make it that far, having not been in the ring for so long and being a big fan of TNA at that point. And then first week of December, he rang me up. He goes, Matt, I got good news and I got bad news. He goes, the bad news is they've given it to someone. I was like, oh, well, at least I got this far. And he goes, the good news is, brother, it's you. So absolutely on top of the world. But then, as anyone who's been following TNA knows, that by late December they opted not to tour because their ticket sales weren't terribly strong.
Well, they put their tickets on sales the same time as the Hulkamania tour, the same time as the WWE tour, the same time as a recession starts to happen. And so you're back almost where you started again. You've been chosen, you've had your shot, you're saying to yourself, the 5-year plan, it's back on track. And once again, the gods of wrestling have pulled that one out from under you.
I was looking at maybe making it a way to close out my wrestling career. If I had it was set for Rod Laver Arena. If I had got a chance to wrestle at Rod Laver, and I was a big fan of TNA, in front of my hometown crowd, that would have been the greatest way to close out my wrestling career, and absolutely no regrets. And when I found out the tour was cancelled, obviously I was disappointed, but I kept on training. Something inside of me said, said, keep on training, keep doing this, maybe something else is around the corner. And then
And something else was?
something else was around the corner. About 12 months later, last week of November, I got sent an application for Tough Enough.
Which
of
is
all
the WWE recruitment TV series.
which is the WWE reality show where they pick a wrestler and however many wrestlers vie for a WWE contract. So I sort of at a crossroads thinking, is this what I really want to do? Am I getting a little bit too long in the tooth for it? Because, you know, I'm closing in on 40 years old, not too long off 40, in pretty good shape, but a lot of miles on the clock as far as the body goes. And I thought, it's a lot to, at this stage of my life, to uproot my life and go over there on a whim. I've got a lot of good things happening over here, working hard, training hard. I've got a good business, I've got family. And I thought, well, the fact that I have to question myself about it shows that it's probably not for me. So I did the right thing and I put it up on Facebook for any Australian wrestler who wanted to have a go. I go, I've got the Tough Enough application. Anyone who wants it, message me and you're welcome to it.
Can I ask if anyone said yes?
Yeah, I had a few people respond, and I think a few of those people, look, I'm not going to name names, but from what I can gather of the recent selection for the cast of Tough Enough, they're picking just mostly indie wrestlers and guys from Florida Championship Wrestling.
I really hate you because somebody told me off the record who's been selected, and you're not going to name them. I can't say anything because I was told off the record, and you're not going to name them.
Yeah, so
can I hit you with a chair after this show?
You certainly may. Certainly may. It's not going to be unprotected chair shot though. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, you've been all over Australia. You've worked overseas. You've worked with every top company. You've had belts. You've been tapped by the two biggest companies in the world and been given the offer to wrestle with them. Can I suggest something to you?
Yes.
Can I suggest that you don't need it anymore? Can I suggest that you have been there and you have done it at this level, which is the same as that level, they've just got better lighting. Can I suggest that, in the words of Joseph Campbell, the hero can't go backwards, the hero must always move forwards in life?
Wise words, Chris.
It's not my words, they're Joseph Campbell's, but I'll tell you, I'm now sitting with one of the wisest men in Australian wrestling. It has been my privilege to work with this man nigh on 9 years now. My privilege to have known him that long. Jungle Cat, I wish you success, I wish you health, I wish you a good future life, and I wish to see you more often than I do.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to the Gorilla Position for having me on. My pleasure.
All right, people, shut your mouths and listen up. You might just learn something. For those of you that don't know, my name is Matt Jungle Cat. I'm the winner of the TNA Search for a Superstar competition. I'm the man that WWE have been chasing. I've held every title in Australia that's worth holding. I've beaten every wrestler in Australia of any note. And all that's left is the WWX Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. So you people, you lucky people, even though it's more than you deserve, are going to be a part of history. You're going to see me beat this peanut and go to the finals tomorrow night, beat Luke Gallows and be crowned the WWX Undisputed Champion.
The WWE chasing him to go overseas and wrestle. This guy could have been on Raw or SmackDown any of these shows beating Luke Gallows, wrestling Luke Gallows, brawling it out with the boys at any time. This is Jungle Cat's claim to fame. I could have beaten Luke Gallows a year ago had I allowed it to happen. Now, if he's got to get through Justin Newman, if he's successful, he can put his money where his mouth is.
Right, Stephen, but did you see that Jungle Cat just shoved referee Shorty into Judd Newman? Now Judd Newman is basically paying the toll for not getting out of the way of the referee. Big hip toss there, courtesy of Jungle Cat. Jungle Cat, Justin Newman very quickly back to his feet, squaring off.
Judd's a tough guy. All right, Judd definitely one of the most biggest accomplishments of this young man's career. Definitely spent 3 months being beaten into the canvas by Lance Storm. Graduated the school. Come back over here. He's got a new whole mindset about this business, and I'll tell you what, he's going to find out about it.
That was something I did not know. I did not know that Judd Newman actually spent time with in the Storm Dungeon. I mean, that's saying a lot.
Saying a lot, and I'll tell you what, he's going to show it tonight. Jungle Cat may think that Judd Newman's a pushover. He'll soon learn that he's not.
And definitely not a pushover. Trying his hardest there, Jungle Cat, just a bit stronger in the upper body and basically clubbing Justin Newman across the back. Follows up with a headbutt, sending Newman to the ropes. Sends him across with an Irish whip. Comes back, flats him with a close line.
Head off with that one. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Of course I saw it. I was trying to call it.
You call it. I'll sit here and just scream and yell and tell Jungle Cat how much he needs to actually get a job.
Snap suplex there, courtesy of Jungle Cat. But, you know, it wasn't too long ago that you'd actually be cheering for Jungle Cat. You've matured like in the past few times I've seen you.
Hey, look, I don't deny the respect that I have for the guy. I mean, I have known him for many years. Justin Newman himself, I've known him for a few years. But at the end of the day, it's not about respect. It's not about who's the best guy, who's the bigger guy. It's about who's going to walk out here tomorrow night the undisputed champion.
Fair enough. I've got nothing to add to that. So I'm just going to keep trying to call the action. And Jungle Cat now asserting his authority over Judd Newman. Just basically kicking the crap out of him, really, if you think about it. Now just introducing him face first into that top turnbuckle. Now the ring ropes. See, there is a move of an intelligent, experienced wrestler, utilising that ring rope as a weapon, straight, just crushing or trying to crush the windpipe of Judd Newman against that ring rope. Now just hoisting him up.
Hang on a second. Shorty short, get in there.
Kicking him in
Jungle
the lower.
Cat. See that smirk on Jungle Cat's face?
He knew what he did.
He thinks he's got it in the bag.
He knew what he did and he enjoyed it. Meanwhile, Jungle Cat now working away on Justin Newman. Judd Newman now hooked up onto those ropes. Jungle Cat coming through. Goes to the clothesline. Both men over onto the floor.
There they go. Now the action's taken to the outside. Not the first time we've seen it happen tonight, but I'll tell you what, it's probably going to be one of the most dangerous.
And it's definitely not the first time we've seen Jungle Cat do that either.
Cat in and back out, buying himself that little bit of extra time, getting short to start that 10 count again.
Now working on Judd Newman. Judd Newman, you're blocking the attempt to shove his head into the turn.
Oh, there it is.
Into the apron. Jungle Cat kissing it himself instead.
Justin
Newman now
Newman
rolling himself back into the ring. Judd Newman
appears to have the upper hand now. Oh, there it is. Just rolling on the other side, and Justin Newman, that slight bit more experience on Jungle Cat's part, baiting the young man in and just stomping him. Oh!
Judd Newman off the ropes, double axe handle right into the scone.
But no amount of experience is going to stop a knock to the face.
And follows up with a clothesline. Judd, I've got to say, Judd has actually brought a lot of intensity into his wrestling now. He's got a more of a positive attitude about himself. Big, huge scoop slam from Judd Newman on Jungle Cat. Jungle Cat isn't a small guy.
That was a lot of strength by Judd. That's what I'm talking about. This guy may look like he's not much, but he's got it all in there. He's got that fire in his belly. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Deep down, just grits it in, lets it build, and just explodes.
It's that passion and it's that desire through Justin Newman. He wants to be, believe it right now, he wants to be the WWX Undisputed Champion. He wants to be the guy to take that belt from tomorrow night and into Queensland the next week.
Judd Newman just trying to take Jungle Cat down. Jungle Cat saw it coming. Big, nice power slam there, courtesy of Judd Newman.
Two.
Jungle Cat just kicking out.
Just getting the shoulder up. Newman almost a look of desperation on his face just there.
You got to admit though, kicking out like that, the way the Jungle Cat did, does exert quite a fair bit of energy, especially when you've got to maintain such conditioning for for a match of this magnitude. I mean, it does take a lot out of you just to kick out like that, especially when you've been power slammed in the middle of the ring.
Oh, they got a push off. Up. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh!
Newman with a huge spine buster firing up. Wait a minute. What's I don't know what's going on out here. What the? Mitra down in the corner. Mitra, wait a minute. Wait, John. The shots from Mitra. Oh,
Newman.
no.
Oh, just that.
Marco Mitra.
Those shots from Mitra just sent Judd Newman reeling in here, just had nowhere to go except down.
Oh, no. Referee shorty short, not quite sure exactly what happened there. Telling Marco Mitra to just get out of the ringside area. Wait, there it is, the cutter. There's the cover from Jungle Cat. 1, 2, 3.
Your winner, and going on to the final for the WWX Undisputed Heavyweight Championship match against Luke Gallows is Jungle Cat.
Yeah, but not without help, EC Rider. Not without help. It took that piece of garbage, Marco Mitra, and he's got every reason to be. You know what I mean? If I was in there and I got my ass handed to me by Luke Gallows, I'd be upset too.
Welcome back to the gorilla position, ladies and gentlemen. And there you see the Jungle Cat getting a victory over Judd Newman with a little help from Marco Mitra of Nothing Personal, Just Business. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the Gorilla Position, and this is our big mid-season special, and we'll be kicking it off with a 6-man tag between Nothing Personal, Just Business with the Jungle Cat versus Luke Gallows, Alexi Papadopoulos, and Judd Newman.
That's it. It's officially underway. Jungle Cat and Luke Gallows sizing each other up. Personals at ringside. Newman and Ashley on the other side for Gallows. Wow, listen to the crowd just getting right into it. Wow, oh, are you kidding?
This crowd is one of the most vocal crowds I have ever seen. And I've seen some big crowds.
That's the thing about Melbourne, EC Rider. I've heard a lot about the Melbourne crowds. I've been fortunate enough to perform in front of some of them. They are loud, they're vocal. They're not shy of telling you how it is or how they think you are. They either like you or they don't.
So we got
There we go. Luke Gallows with the tag in. Alexi Papadopoulos.
So we've actually got Damage and Marco Mitra representing MBJ.
That's right, we've got the young man,
MBJD.
Brandon Taylor, on the outside. We've got the tax man, their executive director of affairs.
What was it, the personals you called them just before?
Nothing personal, just business. We call them the personals.
I remember that. They got a big chop there from Alexi Papadopoulos. I like saying that.
Rather than trying to pronounce that, we just leave it at Alexi. How's that?
But it sounds like I know who he is.
It does.
It sounds like I can actually speak Greek.
Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos. The rest of the alphabet's his surname.
Now Judd Newman in the ring now. Look at that. Oh! They rear headlock into a backbreaker. Nicely done.
You know what we're seeing? We're seeing some interesting... Have a look at the guys in the ring right now. We've got Luke Gallows, who earlier on tonight was advanced in the tournament via disqualification because of Marco Mitra and the Taxman. These two guys, again, now on opposite sides. And you've got Justin Newman and the Jungle Cat. Now those guys are in there in a six-man tag. You throw Dan Damage and Alexi in there.
Who knows what's going to happen?
This is dangerous.
It is dangerous.
This is dangerous.
It's dangerous, it's big, it's huge. I'm loving it.
Keep an eye on Tax, but how is that stipulation thrown in just earlier on from Maya Reynolds that the personals tomorrow night will not have an opportunity to stick their nose into the business of the crowning of the Undisputed Champion? Maya definitely has an idea of how she wants this to go down, and she's not letting anybody, including those guys, interfere with it.
Speaking of basically having control at the moment, Marco Mitra is maintaining control, getting the tag into Jungle Cat. Jungle Cat Muir, as he likes to be known now.
Now Jungle Cat with the tag in. Got him up. Oh, wait. Neck breaker. And look at him, just that quick second stare at Luke Gallows as he hits Justin Newman with the neck breaker.
But no, don't forget, Jungle Cat, very quick, very resistant. He basically straight away starts to get to work on Judd Newman again. Scoop slam there, drops down with a fist across the bridge of the nose. But Judd Newman having the presence of mind, be able to kick out very, very quickly. And now Jungle Cat getting with the front face lock, working Judd Newman into his corner. Judd Newman trying to power himself out, but gets the tag into Marco Mitra. Marco Mitra now works on the midsection of Judd Newman, courtesy of a double axe handle.
Taking him into the corner, smashing his face into that turnbuckle, just really being brutal here with Justin Newman. There's obviously a size difference between these two guys, Marco Mitra. It's already, Marco Mitra was the smaller guy in his match earlier tonight, and now, obviously tearing over Justin Newman, he's got the advantage. But he feels good about himself.
Judd Newman whip to the opposite corner, it's followed up by a big, that's a big splash. He is a big guy.
That's right. What's he doing?
He's a big guy. I mean, Luke Gallows is huge, but give nothing away. Take nothing away from Marco Mitra. He is a big guy.
He's a big man, I'm telling you now. Marco Mitra stands around about 6'2", probably about 110 kilo. The guy's not a lightweight, I'm telling you now, and he could beat you down.
As we saw earlier, what he was able to do to Luke Gallows, a guy that's 8 inches taller than him, or 6 inches taller than him, was able to actually get him on the ground and keep him down for quite some time. I mean, that shows that this guy knows what he's doing when he's inside that ring. And now it's now Judd trying to force himself into the corner.
He's so close. The referee, he got it.
Almost getting in, just teasing him.
Oh,
Gallows getting his tag in.
Tag was in. Gallows in. Referee didn't see the tag. Gallows being pushed back to the corner. The referee didn't see it. That's not the first thing that Shorty's missed tonight.
Now look at this. Judd deep in enemy territory.
Telling you, I'm finding it interesting. Jungle Cat, he's either the smartest man or he's the most scared man in the building right now. He's either saving himself for tomorrow night against Gallows or he's actually scared.
I'd say he's actually saving himself from Gallows at the moment.
I would agree. That's as good as an assumption as
there's
it is.
One thing Luke Gallows wants to do right now is take Jungle Cat's head off.
And given half a chance, he would.
Doing what he's doing,
in the
keeping
building.
that ring cut in half, making sure that whenever Luke Gallows is able to get into that ring, that he is not the man in that ring. He is playing it what he would call a smart tactic.
Well, the crowd getting behind Justin.
Oh, nice kick right to the chops of Matt the Jungle Cat Muir.
The tag! Here he comes! In comes the big LG! Oh, the Personals taking balls left, right, and center. Gallows throwing shots. Everybody going, and Matthew Jungle Cat
Big boot to damage. Sends him into the corner. Mitchell now sent to the other corner. Oh, kick to the guts.
Taking control right now. Oh, there. Oh, a big hug for them. And straight out after Jungle Cat.
No, he's not. He's after Taxman.
Wait a minute. They had Brittany.
They had Brittany.
Are you kidding? It's bad enough that you're going to pick on the guy himself. How dare you pick on his fiancée?
A guy like Luke Gallows don't do anything to his missus. That's just stupidity.
This guy's playing the numbers game right now. Ganging up on Luke Gallows, the only way they'd probably be able to get it done.
That's a double clothesline effect. Oh, big clotheslines.
Big double clothesline. In come the teammates. Alexi taking shots into damage. Mitro being moved out to the side. Oh,
Alexi.
Slam.
Big power slam from Alexi Papadopoulos. Luke Gallows now. Getting Marco Mitro to his feet. Whipped across. Big bicycle kick.
Straight boot to the face. Up goes Judd Newman. Here we go. Rocket launcher right here. They're going to throw him halfway across the ring.
Bit of a
down
into the splash with an assist from Alexi and JJ.
1, 2, 3. That's it.
Well, thanks again for joining us. We're sorry again that it wasn't the fun Murphy video you wanted, but we hope you enjoyed this tribute to Matthew Jungle Cat Muir. By all accounts, a really good guy, and yeah, will be terribly missed by the wrestling community. If you do want more Murphing, though, don't forget you can subscribe to this channel. We also have our website, and yeah, so that's where you can get your fix of Murphing. Also, don't forget our wonderful sponsors at Home for the LD Lee. And, yeah, that's kind of all I got to say. So, see ya.